Hey.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
It is the last Friday of 2024 here at the ground.
It is.
Welcome in. Big shout out to our friends over at, let's go with Natural Therapy Wellness.
Can't forget about them.
Get yourself a nice massage for 2025. Check them out at www.mchenrymassage.com, 815-779-1089. I don't know.
It's funny. You do it so often. I almost have it, but you have to say, you got to get me rolling first for it to pop in my head.
Good friends over at JH Flowers and Events. Check them out. Two great locations and just some good stuff there.
$5 Fridays.
$5 Fridays. And there's Uncle Pete. Uncle Pete says, hey, if you want to be part of this great show, put that right into your URL. Come on in. And away we go.
What's up, Drew? How we doing this morning?
Cappuccino, good morning. Good morning. Glad to have you with us, brother. Happy holidays to you. Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the first day of Kwanzaa, or I don't know. Yeah. One of those days. Anyway, 2024 year in review. Good stuff going on all the time here at 216 Creator Studios. I think Scott might pop in today. They've got some, there's a bunch of bugs going around, and he says the Giles household has it. Kelsey.
Almost had Kelsey, but that babysitter at the last second slept in. You know how that goes. That's
hard to find good work.
It's rough. Yeah.
Good work. I don't know. It's hard to find.
Well,
I have some more coffee.
I don't have a kid, but I think about this all the time. Like, I can't imagine a person I would leave my child with. Like, I don't. That's got to be such a rough thing, choosing a babysitter for your kid, unless it's family.
Yeah, family is one thing. Yeah, it is. Today, 2024 year in review.
Yeah,
and 2024 was a year of 366 days.
Was it? We had a leap year this year?
I think we had a leap year.
Oh, well, happy birthday to my uncle.
My brother turned I think he's 60, or I don't know what he is. 60. So divide that by 4.
I was going to say my uncle turned 20-something this year.
15
technically.
15, I think. Yeah. So good stuff. And how did 2024 go for you? Let's talk highlights, lowlights.
Yeah. 2024 was a weird one, man.
It was.
Obviously, the highlights, just another year of learning, growing, deciding what I'm going to do. I got the motivation to move forward. So that's a highlight.
Yeah.
I got a new dog. She's great.
Yeah.
Married happily. We celebrated 1 year coming up. So, of the official marriage.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah. Obviously low light, lost my dad. Not great, but
you remember you saw him live?
Yeah, no, I do. Right now he's at home on the shelf. He's just hanging out, waiting for me to get home.
We'll shelf that one. Never mind.
Sitting next to the doers, right where he would want to be.
That's it.
But yeah, I mean, overall, how about you? What do you got? Yeah. I know what your highlights is probably for the year. Well, you got two. You actually got a lot of major highlights this year, don't you?
Yeah, I got 2024 was a good year.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And a strange year all at the same time.
Yeah.
But I would have it no other way. You said you kind of got to the way to figure it out. Well, I'm 55 and I'm just living the dream that, it took a while. That's why I say is, being a head coach, a college head coach, never thought I'd be is just a blessing and cool.
And a winning head coach
so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, but
we head to Peoria to a big tournament tomorrow. And there's 8 teams, and 5 of those 8 teams are in the top 20 in the nation. So we get to go in there and kind of be a spoiler, which I'm very, very excited about. The underdog, play the underdog.
Is this tournament like a scrimmage, or does it mean something for your rankings?
Yeah, no, it means something.
Okay.
And then it's a good one because there's so many good teams that there's a lot of 4-year colleges that will be watching and they're taking notes. So it's a good opportunity for the women who want to continue to play.
Yeah.
And go to the next level. So
and then they can get the funds that they need to do so, hopefully.
Yeah, very excited about that.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then of course Jack showed up. What is today? The 20-something? The 27th. So he showed up 23 days ago.
Yes, he did.
Jack, my grandson. So really, really cool. That's a blessing. And neat stuff. So yeah, and then Drew has done phenomenal work here at 216 Creator Studios. To be able to give him some support here. But this guy, he and Nick have turned the clubhouse here into something special. And I'm very, very excited for 2025.
No, it looks great.
Yeah. And everybody's healthy and life's good. So, cannot complain.
So how about the other side?
The weird, I guess, is, the 2024, everything around the house went kapurli. The water heater goes out, the water softener goes out, our dryer goes out the week before Christmas. So my rims on Brownie, are bad. So it was a very expensive year without having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's life, though, right?
It is.
So life happens. But other than that, yeah. Hey, Jess, how are you? Good morning. Best coach. You deserve it. Happy Friday. Let's go. Good luck. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And blessed, Jess, she's a phenomenal person. She's part of that coaching staff too. She brings a lot of wisdom.
Oh, she works with you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wisdom, passion. And a huge asset when you got 2 men coaching a bunch of women, for her to come in and be able to connect with those women. Yeah. And to say that we're idiots.
So it's probably important to have the female perspective in coaching there a little bit.
She's like, yeah, you guys are a bunch of idiots. Listen.
You guys both heading down tomorrow to Peoria?
She is, of course, a single mom, an incredible lady, a mom, and can't get there. And she kind of runs somebody's heating electrical business. So she does a lot on the backside. So
gotcha.
Cannot get there. Drew says 2024 was awesome for 216 business. Also gained awesome new friends like Steve. Not so great for health, but getting better. Yeah.
First of all, knowing me isn't that bad for your health. I don't even know why you would say that. Frankly, I'm a little offended, but it's fine. You're not great for my health either. I'm not offended.
Yeah. No, Jess, we're here every Friday morning. Glad you tuned in as well, which is great. Appreciate you. Love it. Just an incredible human being.
Yeah.
Great.
I would love to ask Scott. I feel like maybe Scott slept in a little bit today. Because Scott also had a lot of highlights this year. I'm kind of curious because yours obviously it's pretty easy. You got a dream career and a grandson, so I know which order you're probably stacking your highlights for the year. Scott's not so easy. I want to ask him. I hope he jumps on. I want to ask him, like, what of his accomplishments this year, what meant the most to him and why.
So do you write down goals each year?
Yes, I do.
Did you hit any this year?
Yeah. I hit some of them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many do you write down?
So I'm a firm believer, as I know you are, about putting things into the universe. Yep. Right. Yep. So a lot of my goals, I knew for a fact, weren't going to be plausible within a year. Sure. A time frame, either physical incapabilities, financial, whatever it is. Goals, So of the realistic ones, I accomplished quite a few of the ones that I wanted to get done, but not all of them. as Drew said, taking care of my health needs to be a higher priority. I went to the doctor for the first time in 15 years. That was earlier this year. That was a highlight. Doctor told me I was fine, but that I got to watch my cholesterol. And I'm like, I am hitting that age. I'm like, cool. Everything's good. You got to ease up on the cholesterol.
Not so much bacon.
No, I'm, that's my cheat day.
I don't know what causes cholesterol. Just throwing it out there. I got good numbers, which is good. And Eric says, hey, fellas, Eric Bam, welcome in. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa to you, my friend. It's Man Food Friday.
All right. What's man food?
Pizza is man food.
I feel like it depends on the toppings entirely. That's, what are you putting on there? What are you putting on your pizza that makes it man food?
Well, you got to go meat.
Yeah, I would say definitely meat lovers. Sam won't touch it. That's immediately in my head.
You don't throw fruit on a pizza.
No pineapple.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess tomatoes are fruit.
Yeah, so it is. It is.
Yeah. Listen. If it's man food, it's New York style, and you got a big slice that you can fold and eat, and you got a couple pieces of meat on there, not a ton.
You're a New York style guy, huh?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I would have figured I had you pegged as a Detroit style.
No.
Interesting.
Give me that big. That's why I love That's Amore Pizza here in town.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, so good.
Yeah. Eric says we're eating at 9 places today.
All right.
Oh man, Italian beef and giardiniera is what Jess says is a man pizza.
That's a manly pizza right there. Yeah. I've been meaning to try the beef and giardiniera hot honey pizza.
Yeah.
From Lou Malnati's.
Okay.
It's like $45, but like they drip that hot honey all over it.
Yeah.
I was like,
7th year that they're doing the Man Food Friday. Eating at 9 places was 9 places. If you want to find out, follow Eric Bam on Facebook and Instagram. And you can take the journey of Man Food Friday with you. Yeah, be good.
Awesome.
We know. Any great highlights, anything you guys like about 2024. Let's talk about the weirdest thing in 2024.
Okay.
The weird what tagged you as the absolute weirdest thing in 2024? There's a ton.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weirdness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it's tough. Like weird for the world, weird for me.
Yeah. Yes.
Like weirdest for me is the job I'm in right now. I didn't see that coming. Like me personally, just I've never worked a job where I just show up and I'm counting the days until my contract is over. Like, it's never happened to me once in my life. Weirdest.
I mean, being a stripper at memory care facilities is a weird job.
It's not as weird as you think. It's extra tips because they forget. Yeah, but it's also it's a lot of change in your G-string. They don't not a lot of folding money. You'd be surprised.
Here's some Werther's originals.
They melt and get sticky. It's really is. I mean, there's downsides. I'm not saying there's not.
Would you like some hard candy with that?
Yeah, dude. Some peppermint patties.
Yeah, I like what Jess says. The more you know, the more you know, the more you know how little you know. Biggest takeaway ever. Evolving. Always another layer. So fun.
Mary, I apologize. I don't know when you logged in there, but it probably wasn't great.
That's right. It is a weird job that he's got.
But no, that is actually one of my absolute favorite quotes. Is the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know.
Yeah.
That is absolutely one of the most accurate things in life, and I do think it helps people. Once you realize that, you're like free from thinking you have to know everything. You're like, oh wow, I could spend the rest of my life just trying to learn things and still know nothing comparatively. So,
and Mary, glad to see you, sister. Hope that your best part of 2024 and the weirdest part of 2024 for you, Mary. Throw it out there. She's done a lot of great things. Of course, Mary Shep. Some of you may recall Mary living low sodium, right? My low so lifestyle for years and years here.
Okay.
On 216. But now she's doing great stuff with insurance, and she's a beacon in the community.
That low sodium is rough.
Oh,
it's so rough.
Yeah, she has to. Otherwise, it's
no.
Otherwise, there's no Mary.
Yeah. That was my dad. He's like no salt, no meat. Yeah. Like he was on. It was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Shopping for him was a nightmare.
Oh yeah. So we didn't get him that salt lick.
Yeah, just put him out back, chain him to the fence like a deer. He's got to switch to the sugar every once in a while.
Every once in a while, a couple cubes over there. Toby Evans, brother, how are you, man? Miss being grounded. Thanks for the
Toby, he got in at the same time as Mary, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, Toby, I was thinking of you last night. The movie of our guy, your buddy, the one-legged wrestler, Alexander, who wrestled at Arizona State.
Oh,
big movie on him, and I'm like, hey, that's Toby's guy. Toby's doing some work with him, so it's cool to see that movie coming around, which is all right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When does that come out?
I think 2025.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we'll Unstoppable. All right, we'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. Yeah. Great story.
Yeah, and you know the guy personally then? Toby does.
Yeah. And J-Lo is the mother in it.
No,
it's a really pretty good acting job for her.
Cool.
She does a nice job at it. Of course, she always is easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't care if she's a good actor.
It's so strange to me when you're like, oh yeah, she plays the mom of the wrestler, and it's like, oh, I remember when this happened to Sandra Bullock too, and it's like, yo, you're the mom now in movies. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is. Yeah. She does a good job. She plays a good part of it. But yeah, it's I mean, 2024 is such a cool year for me. And it's going to finish on a high note, and it's a weird year as well, as we kind of said, because yin yang was huge for me. For every great thing that happened, there's always one weird ass thing.
Yeah,
that you're just like, what?
To balance it out a little bit.
Balance it out. Very, very huge year for that for me. And 2025, I'm excited about. I don't, if I take a look at my goals that we were talking about, I maybe three goals. But the 2024, my entire being shifted, right? So, I mean, becoming a college coach wasn't one of my goals.
No.
And so when you hit a personal lifelong dream, that you're able to do something that you're so passionate about, a lot of the access of the world shifts.
Yeah.
You
got to reevaluate.
Mm-hmm. And that's cool. And for me, that it was pretty cool to watch that access shift.
Yeah.
And then here at 216, like I said, I mean, Drew took the keys, Drew took the steering wheel here at the Creator Studios, and just, he allowed me to sit in the back of the 1970 Cutlass Cruiser and look out. I was sitting in that back seat in the way back, looking backwards, while Drew was just had the gas pedal down, doing a good thing. So things to focus on in 25: AI, Chat GPT, more actual phone calls, productivity versus hours worked, more social in social media, more voice video text.
Well, all right.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. More AI, Chat GPT, and we talked about this a few months ago, but it's really,
it has. It's been taken off.
Yeah.
My buddy, so what my buddy does for a living is he works helping create the AI that assesses your risk So he got his degree in being an actuary.
Oh yeah.
So now he helps write the AI programs that assess your risk doing the job that he used to do. And ChatGPT, it's crazy because he'll be like, I don't know how to write code at all. He's like, but I need a section of code that I can insert that does this function. And ChatGPT is just like, here you go, HTML form. Yeah, just copy and paste it. Yep. And you're like, wow, all right, that's.
Well, I mean, Gemini. Google is pushing Gemini now pretty hard, which is, hey, just talk to it.
Yeah.
And, it shows Gemini talking people through everything.
Yeah.
Tests. Big deal. And Drew says, it's okay to trade your goals mid-year or anytime as long as you move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you have to be able to pivot, right? Pivot.
Yeah, well, because life, you can plan all you want. You know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men, right? Like it doesn't matter. Right. Things are going to happen. You've got to prepare to be flexible in your approach to life in general. And if something happens, you become the head coach of a basketball team. You got to be ready to be like, okay, cool. Well, my goals had to do with baking this year, and now I'm the head coach of a basketball team. Right. So maybe my goals are going to shift, and I'm going to want to score some buckets, maybe. Instead, but I'm still working on my souffle. It's fantastic.
It's wonderful. Yeah. I think that's life. Like I said, there's a lot of yin yang huge in 2024. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens 2025.
Yeah.
And see how that rotates, I guess.
Yeah. 2025 is going to be an interesting year.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of uncertainty at least for me going into it.
Yeah.
And a lot of new projects, new things that I want to work on.
Yeah.
New jobs, new career, new business, different things that I want to focus on that I hadn't previously. And I'm excited. I genuinely have that energy going into the new year, which is important.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
So like the weird thing for me for 2025 is it's 2025.
Yeah.
I take a look and say, growing up, being born in the mid to late 1900s, is
I hate when you do that.
Is we talked about 1925, and what I do now is I look at where people are going to be 100 years from being born in the mid to late 2000s, 20s, right? And looking back at 2025, going, oh my God, they were flappers, what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
And what weirdness do they look back like this was the olden days, and then you go, how weird is that, maybe I'm going to be in those mid to late 20s. I'm going to be in that century mark. And I'm living, like I tell people, I'm living to 140. So at 70 is when I'll have my midlife crisis.
All right.
But yeah, I look at it and go, do we look back on 2025? And then in 10 years, 2035, go 2035, do people look at me and go, oh my God, you were born in 1960s? Holy shit, what was it like back? What? And then I'll go like to my mom, well, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks and I had you, and and then, I tell my kids, I'm like, oh my God, your mom was in there for 4 days and my grandson was born and they're out in 24 hours. It's like, no, in another 20 years, is it, well, you had a baby in and out.
Right. That's how it was for my mom. Yeah. She was in and out. What I really like is, like you said, they'll be looking back in 10 years. It was crazy for me midway through the last decade.
Yeah.
Well, about 10 years ago now, when I had been 10 years removed from 11 years removed from high school. And I was watching people put out videos about like the fashion They're like, well, this is 2003 fashion. And I was like, wait, is that not like a thing anymore? I feel like that's just still normal. And I was wrong. And they're making fun of it. It's like, you know, I'm not a girl, but at some point, like lip gloss went out, and that was like a big thing they were making fun of from like my generation. I'm like, they don't do that anymore. Like, okay. Like it was so weird to see them, like to see like the style and everything move forward without me, and then have people looking back and making fun of it. It's like, we're only 10 years removed. Like, that's crazy.
Shayna, good morning, sister. Glad to have you.
Morning.
A great Kwanzaa. It's morning. Big year for you both. How to prepare for things you have no experience. Birth and loss marks time in life. We find a way to muddle through. There's a beauty in it. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the blessing, if I take a look at the big blessing for 2024, is, you know, I wallowed in it. Right. I sat there and just got dirty and let it stink on me. Hey, Nate, good morning, brother. Glad to have you in. Happy holidays. Figured he'd stop in for a 10-minute break. Merry Christmas.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Drew says 2024 aliens were spotted. A lot of them came over but never mind. Some took a pop at the Orange Man. Drones spotted everywhere. AI is the new educator, et cetera, et cetera. Exciting and scary for 2025. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
alien. It's a weird year indeed, Drew. When aliens don't make the top of the list of weird things that happen
anymore.
No, because they did the same thing in 2018. They're like, oh no, I mean, aliens probably exist, and everyone's like, what? The CIA said what? And now they're like, oh yeah, now there's aliens under the sea, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
Let's learn more about that. And they're like, no, it's fine. No, we're just saying they're down there. You know.
Okay. So let's look at drones out there, which is great. I like that. Drones spotted everywhere. The beautiful thing is all these drones on the East Coast and no answers. Right?
Yeah.
Let's strike fear into everybody, which makes me go, something's going on over here. Don't look over here.
Well, it's for decades they've been, be like, oh, well, it was just a government weather balloon, or testing training accident in the middle of the desert at 3:00 in the morning.
Right.
We scrambled the jets for a training exercise, and it's like, people have just been like, yeah, no, that makes sense, that tracks, giant fireball in the night desert sky, no worries, like training accident
makes good sense. Makes good sense.
Weather balloon exploded. It's like, you guys got a lot of weather balloons in the desert. Like, it's pretty dry.
That's it. That's what I like too. It's like, you hear about that big drone accident down there in Florida, where they were trying to do like a Santa. It was a big drone accident. And they glitched and everything. It fell on people.
Did you see they set the world record in China? That drone show was amazing. Remember when I told you over the summer that they were going to try to replace fireworks shows with drone shows?
Right.
They I don't even know what the number was. It was like 50,000 drones. They set the world record, but the images dancing in the sky were so detailed that they literally used the drones. They put them together and they made a TV screen that played a video. Wow. And I was like, and it was on the front of a bigger image, like the front of like a spaceship image that the drones had created. And I was like, I can't even believe how complex they're getting with this stuff. Yeah. Those shows are so impressive.
Yeah. Nate says, usually when the government says, no, everything's fine, it's probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
I do the same thing. No, everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It is what it is. That's what I always say. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
How much you can do.
Quick side note, if your wife says that, it's the same thing. It's not fine. It's not fine.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's fine. Everything's fine. And then there's silence.
Right. that dangerous silence that lets you know you messed up.
Yeah. Let's see. Shayna pops in, says, things are going to be rough for the folk who couldn't see the chemtrails right above them. Most are waiting to believe what they are told. There's that.
Well, and honestly, like being told a lie that makes you feel better versus just scrambling for your own solution of what things are. I mean, what's technically better? If neither are the truth, a comforting lie might be better than looking up into the sky and just having a panic attack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I've seen a lot of these people on Facebook are panicking, especially over the drones. You said that the other day, and it's true. And like, there are a lot of drones in the sky right now.
Yeah. There's a metric ton of them.
Yeah,
literally.
Is there? Did they actually wait them out? That's awesome.
I think so. Yeah, Nate. Everything's fine. Wife said. I immediately start doing the dishes. When do you get the vacuum out? I got a vacuum.
Yeah.
Full blown. And I'm starting to see the comforting lie angle. And that's maybe something we can talk about in 2025 too. Is this blue marble that we're on has a tendency to always correct itself. It's not man-made corrections. This rock that we're on, third rock from the sun, has been around a long time. There's been floods, there's been freezes, there's been things that it tends to find a way to balance it out, no matter what kind of beings are on it.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, did we care in 1969 when the moon was invaded by aliens?
We did not. Well, I mean, most people did. Yeah, watching on their black and white TV, like fucking cheering and screaming.
Right.
Yeah.
For the aliens.
Well, yeah.
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 So it was okay for us as aliens to invade another planet.
As long as there's nothing there, We were on the bright side, not the dark side.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no.
Allegedly.
Sprinkle that in there.
Allegedly.
I mean, that was.
So if we're okay being aliens invading another planet, and now Mars too, we've got some.
Up
there.
Gotta travel around Mars. Yeah.
Allegedly. Looks a lot like Greenland. Anyway. What?
Dude, that Elvis impersonator was already there on Mars. Dude, that wasn't.
Musical. We own the moon.
Oh no, I do. I like what you're saying though, because you're not wrong. The earth gets damaged and it puts itself into another ice age. Right, it heals itself. America. No, I'm worried about you heard of Kessler syndrome? So it's the theory that by the time we have the technology to explore the stars, we won't be able to get out of our planet because of the huge amount of debris that's encircling our globe right now.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So by the time we have the ability to safely travel human beings to another planet, we're going to have a really hard time getting through the shell. Right. Yeah. But we're going to have a real hard time getting through that shell of satellites and debris that's just circling our globe right now. It's a huge amount that's out there right now.
There's a lot of junk up there.
Yeah. And it's only every day it gets more and more.
Yeah, a lot of junk up there.
But I find that fascinating.
Yeah,
always have.
Well, that's why as a kid, you used to look up at the star. I used to look up at the stars, and you'd see maybe a shooting star. Now there's so much traffic up there.
Oh yeah,
things are moving everywhere up there. Like, oh, look at that! Look at that constellation moving.
It's funny.
Nope, that's
It's funny because you said something to me a couple months ago that changed my perspective on the way I look at ships in the ocean. Which you said that your kid is out there on the boat all the time, and it as big as the ocean is, you're not by yourself. You look around and there's other boats. It's like being on a highway. You see all these. So. Yeah. I can't wait for the time when that's the same is true in space. You take a jog out to the moon and there's ships all over like that. That would be really cool. I mean, ideally we would reach that point.
You'd like to live in a Star Wars type world.
I don't know if I would like to. I mean, I would like to go out and explore 100%. Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to live in a galaxy like obviously torn apart by war. If human beings are out there, hopefully we're doing it peacefully.
The amazing thing is, and I love Star Wars, but the amazing thing is they found a lot of planets with oxygen.
Well, yeah, you gotta remember that's not Earth. That's gravity. That's in a galaxy far away in the distant past. Right. So a lot has changed since then. Yeah. I do enjoy that. I like any sci-fi where they go to different planets and immediately breathe the oxygen with no explanation.
No explanation.
I have always appreciated movies like that. Sometimes
leave
it
your
just takes
full on. Leave your. I think we're safe.
Yeah, a lot of times I just give it to them, and I'm like, you know what? You could explain it with some long, chaotic explanation for why you can breathe the air. And then I would have that explanation and I still wouldn't care. So you could just skip that and I'll just assume that you're going to say it and we can all go on with the fact that you can breathe air. Better than staring at a helmet the whole movie, I guess. Is the theory there.
Like you're on one of those big battle stars or something and the garage door opens and nobody gets sucked out.
That's force fields. It's the quantum force fields. That is another one though. Yeah, when everybody's in the hangar and nobody dies when there's an explosion in the hangar.
Never.
They're all just holding on and like it's not a vacuum that's going to suck their eyeballs out of their head. They're just like holding on to a rope until somebody close the door. They're yelling in space.
I'm not an aerospace engineer. It's always something I wondered about. That's all. That's it. And that's 2025. What we get to. That's what we're looking for in 2020. So what's the big goal? What's the big goal for 2025 for you?
So my big goal is to put together a financial action plan and open my own place. That is something that I've wanted for years now to get back to. I did it before, and then there was a big time when I thought it was just too much work. Why not just do it for somebody else? And then you do that long enough and you circle right back and you're like, you know what? No, I was never happier. Like, yeah, was it chaotic? Did I work a lot? Did I make very little money? Yeah, all those things are true, working for yourself. But I was so happy comparatively.
You and Sam are entrepreneurs at heart, and that's a tough thing to do. There's safety in working for someone. But it stifles you because you go, you're doing this wrong, or you can do this better, or let me give you an idea. And then they look at you and go, shut your mouth. It's my business.
Yep.
What do you mean? I'm trying to help you out here.
Well, and then you fall into the same patterns. Like, as you know, I've been working at a place, hired to come in and fix the entire place from the ground up. And every step of the way, the owners are like, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So, well, you hired me to do a job. You won't let me do it. And I'm okay with that. It's your business. It's not my business. Right. Yeah. You pay me. And I guess I don't care, but like also I take pride in what I do and you're not letting me do it. Yeah. But like, it's stuff like that makes me desperately want to have my own place, my own. And I know the hours are long. I've talked with Sam about it. She supports me in this endeavor. But I want to have that place. And I'll tell you, it's not just about having the place. Do you know who Nico is?
Nico, yeah.
Nico Kanakaris, great guy. Love you, Nico.
He's got a great business model.
So not only is he a fantastic businessman, and I don't agree with everything he says. No, of course not. He's a little crazy. You know that, Nico. If you're watching, love you.
We love you.
But
you have to.
But here's what so for Thanksgiving, Nico, as owns all these places, could easily take off, has a beautiful house, beautiful family, beautiful kids. Thanksgiving, he was at the bar serving free meals to people who needed it, creating a sense of community for people that had no other place to go and giving away free meals, serving them himself so that his staff could have the day off. Now that's big. That's my goal right there. That was at Nico's Red Mill. Yep.
Yeah, nice. Shayna says, remember the movie Predator? Some dude posted something in his woods aggressively downing tree branches in front of him. Unseen AI? How to tell? Nico comes from good people. He does. I mean, we see that there's a video out there of trees moving, and you see them moving.
Yeah,
not swaying. The actual big ass tree moved yards.
What?
Yeah.
What do we? Where is this?
It's out there on social media. Just look up "walking tree," and you'll see a bunch of people that have caught videos where it's like a 30-foot tree that just goes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Very interesting. There's a lot of Bigfoot as well. I mean, let's be honest. Bigfoot's out there, and rumor has it is that. They are time benders, so that's why you never see them. You can smell them, you can hear them, but they bend time, and you lose them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, tune in to Metaphysical Meanderings.
Yeah. No. Yeah, there's a lot there. Yeah. You ever seen the movie Arrival? No. I think it's Arrival. So they say you can never truly communicate with a person who speaks a native different language than you. Like you can speak their language, you can learn their language, but you'll never truly communicate on the level as if you were born into that language. The subtlety, the small inflections that you'll just never understand as a non-native speaker of that language. Idea is that aliens come to Earth, they have the ability to manipulate time. The humans are slowly learning the language, not understanding what's happening to them, because as they learn the language instinctively, now they're controlling time with the language. It's really cool, fascinating, just like what you're talking about. I think you would really like that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I've always wondered that how a baby or a dog knows all those. That's my native tongue. I don't. A lot of clicks, Bob. Let's see. Stories of the Paranow.
Yeah, that translates. Yeah,
right here. Stories of the Paranow, and then make headphones that translate.
And those headphones are a perfect example. They're taking a word or phrase in another language, and they are directly translating it into your language. It's not translating the meaning or the subtext of the words.
Yeah.
The phrase in Chinese and Mandarin that means good luck is also the phrase to get your oil changed. It just depends on when you use it.
Yeah, I'm looking for something. I didn't see
looking for the metaphysical.
Yeah, there's a commercial someplace. I don't know where it's at, so I can't play it. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's in a brand.
Yeah, metaphysical meandering. So good. They get deep into all of this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, she's out there a ways. Anyway, well, I won't run that commercial. That'll be good.
That's all right.
Anyway, listen, if you love us in 2025, the best thing you can do is share us, like us, subscribe to us on all of our platforms, follow Spotify for the ground. So if you miss an episode, you can go into Spotify and listen to it while you're on the treadmill or on the yoga mat. We're looking to do some great things. You're going to see us around a lot, which is cool. So, yeah.
No, yeah. And every day I'm seeing more and more stuff pop up on YouTube from 216. It's awesome.
Yep.
Like it's letting me know. I click it on, leave it on in the background.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff.
That's it. So your big goal is to, get the financial action plan, open up a place.
Yeah.
You and Matt, I'm sure, putting it in. You guys have been successful, but have had some issues with some of the backing.
Yeah. And we're going to do a little divide and conquer on this one. So Matt owns all the equipment to start his own print shop. Very similar to Sam, but with all different machines that do different things. So Sam could outsource jobs to him, but it's a solid little plan. He got this just to run out of his garage. As you know, the shack has no room for business. The shack is not a place where you conduct business. That's monkey business. But no, so he's gonna get a little shop, a couple $100 a month, stuff all the machines in there, and we're gonna rock out side jobs for the added income. Mm-hmm. While I'm working on getting the money for the bar. So, so hopefully we got a lot of new things coming in 25. I've always wanted, we talked about this, diversify, get more than one thing going. And if there's one thing I do know about the bar industry, it's I don't want to count on that for my income. But I do want to have the place, that's what's going to bring me joy. And it's just,
So are you okay if it comes in 2035 instead of 2025?
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I say is people ask me and I tell them, and I always talk with, hey, if you don't hit your, especially people in their 20s.
Yeah.
When they think life is hard and everything, I'm like, hey, and they get upset because they didn't get their dream job or whatever. I go, what if you get it when you're 55? Like, what? No way. I'm like, why? That's when mine started coming true.
And I would love, I would love it to happen no matter when it happens. Mm-hmm. But right now is the time. Right now I feel like I have a stronger chance than any other time. My motivation's higher. The time is right in the market. Yeah. The businesses that are going out, and it is unfortunate, but it's being able to capitalize on businesses. Yeah. Businesses are still closing because of COVID.
Yep.
They never could make a bounce back from COVID.
Yep.
And no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't get their way out of debt. And as unfortunate as that is, that leaves a lot of properties that are just going unclaimed right now.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing, I think, in today's society, is the number of empty places, and rent is so high, you know. And I'm like, wouldn't you rather just get somebody in there? And but
Yeah.
I don't own any property. I mean, just my house, right? Yeah, divine timing moves everything. It really does. I mean, it really does. You take a look at why it didn't happen this year, and that's what I love to do too. I love to take a look at my goals, and not take a look at what came to fruition, but rather why didn't it?
Yeah.
Right. And I don't like to point blame, but there are things,
Oh, I do. It's Matt's fault. All my stuff didn't come true this year.
But had you had something with the what you went through with your family this year, maybe it wouldn't have survived.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe the universe is saying it wasn't the right time.
No, yeah, and probably was not. Yeah.
Hindsight, you look in the rearview mirror, hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah.
Right. And so I take a look at that and I go, why didn't that happen?
No.
And a lot of times what I come up with is, well, I didn't focus on it. Why didn't I focus on it? Well, this is what happened. I didn't have the capacity, the energy. The universe didn't have the will for me to maybe have that. Right. Or it said, hey, you need to do this instead.
Yeah.
And there are some things, the universe is big. And when you throw it out in the universe, it may go to the very end of the universe, far reaches of the universe, and it may take some time to come back.
Yeah.
Right. So I can take a look at, I'll take a look at like coaching and why at 55. Right.
Yeah.
And what I can come up with is perhaps that my life wasn't ready for what it takes to do this until now.
You needed a job that allowed you the time. You needed the expertise, the motivation.
Yeah.
Your kids are mostly grown and out of the house, mostly.
Yeah. Mostly.
And so you have that extra little bit of time, and that's what you needed. I mean, things kind of did come together for you there.
Right.
It was nice.
So instead of getting upset about goals that I didn't achieve or things that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I don't tend to blame myself like, oh, I should have paid more attention. I should have. I wanted $1 million.
Yeah.
And truth be told is, God's good. The universe is good to me. So I take a look at my life. I go, do I have billions of dollars in a savings account? Oh, hell no. Is it stressful? Oh, sure. That's life. But that's the way I know, and, I can take a look at it and go, well, maybe I'd be a big dickhole if I had $1 million,
Could be.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, maybe you wouldn't have the energy to get out of bed and go coach every morning.
Right.
You got $1 million. Why?
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I do a similar self-evaluation at the end of the year, and like for this year, I may not have accomplished all the goals that I had, and I might have gone in a different direction, obviously, like where I'm working right now, and all of these things, but I can look back, and even though I didn't get the goals done that I necessarily wanted to, I know that I worked hard enough to accomplish the things that I did work at. So it's not a loss. It's a win. I still worked hard. I still accomplished things. It just wasn't the things that I thought.
Yeah. And I think that's, I think that's huge. And you have a huge entrepreneurial spirit. Drew does. I do. And I think that word entrepreneur means survive.
Mm-hmm.
And you do what it takes to survive. And sometimes those twists set you back a couple of steps. Sometimes they kind of take you off the path, take you around, something to get back on that path. But that entrepreneurial spirit is that ever searching, ever, like a pioneer heading west.
Yeah.
I always imagine, you and your family are trudging along in your covered wagon, and
Yep.
and you come up to the Rocky Mountains.
Yep.
Now, there's no highways at this time.
And it's funny. My mom's always called me a snake oil salesman. So
Yeah,
I got the covered wagon, and
right. So at that point, you're like, well, we can put in here in this dusty flatland, or you guys want to try to get up on us?
Yeah. California's right over there.
Right on the other side of that hill.
Yeah.
What? That's it. What does Drew say here? Drew says, I asked myself, I asked myself, how many experience did I have this year? Not how much money did I make. Experiences leave value as legacy when you're gone, and you live on in others' minds. Yeah, that's a lot of it. Says the guy who's financially secure for the rest of I'd love to have an experience.
Yeah, no, totally. Sleeping on the street is an experience too, Drew.
Oh, it's a nice house. What do you call it? It's a HHR.
Since my refrigerator came in this box.
That's right. Yeah, it does. It does, Shana. That mountain represents life itself. Only way over is through. Yeah, exactly. And that as a. Everybody asks, man, you're so, Scott says it all the time, man, the way you look at it. So I'm like, I didn't make the mountain.
Right.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
Well, we got to deal with it. Right. I didn't make a disease. I didn't, you know what I mean? But you got to deal with it.
Yep.
And there's no sense in getting anxiety over it. There's no sense in worrying about it, blaming myself, whatever, and that's what happens a lot in life too, is people come up against a mountain. They start blaming themselves.
Yeah.
No. Figure it out.
Well, you and Scott both have a unique ability. It's like I come here on Fridays, I sit and I talk and I watch the things that you guys are doing. And it's inspiring because you're working your asses off.
Yeah.
Like Scott, it works the least amount for somebody who works so hard. I've never seen such a quandary in my life.
So true.
It's so stupid. Like, it's like he works so hard, but does nothing and does everything. I don't know how he does it. Yeah. I really his life is a mystery to me.
Yeah.
And then you have your full-time job. You work here, you go and you do, and you have a winning basketball team right now. You make time for the tournaments. You make time for your wife. You make time for your kids. Like it's good to see because it is easy to get overwhelmed and lose hope, especially this day and age. It really is.
Yeah. And I like what Shana says is like, I'm not goal oriented as much as forward progress and growth. Yeah. It's a mindset. The wisdom to know the difference is the real target. Yeah, no. And I agree with you. And that's why I say this earth corrects itself. Right.
Yeah.
And no matter what I put down as goals, I can take a look at my life, right? I take a look back, my son's 30. I take a look back when he was a kid and go, man, I blew it. But then I look at my son who got a good life and he's a good man. He's got a good woman and, they're a great couple. And I go, maybe I did something right. I can beat myself up all day.
You ever asked him?
No. I mean, my Ashley being a psychologist, she's Dad, you're my hero. You work so hard.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. She's shared that. Colette has shared that. Lucy's 15, so we're still the parents who are weird.
Yep.
You don't know anything. Quit yelling at me.
Well, and she still lives. I feel like those conversations with your parents come from some time and distance away.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I've moved out. I've had time to reflect. Damn. My parents mean so much to me.
Yeah.
It's like, she's still living with you. But like your son, I'm curious. So you should ask him. Like, what do you think about your childhood growing up? My mom does that all the time. She'll come to me. She's all this weekend. She did a lot. She was like, I always felt so guilty when you're growing up. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And she's like XYZ. And she'll lay out all these reasons that she feels guilt. And I'm like, I don't remember that. Didn't notice it. At no point did it adversely affect me. Like you could probably let go of that guilt now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you can let it go. I was talking with Adam Harville, a great friend of mine, and we had breakfast on Monday, His oldest son is in 8th grade,
No.
14 or something like that, right? And he's talking about, oh, I said, yeah, let's see. Yeah. So really for the next 4 years, you're still an idiot.
No.
And everything you do will be an idiot. Once he steps out of the house, my dad wasn't too bad. I said, Mom's going to be the coolest person from here until he graduates.
Yeah.
Maybe in that senior year, you'll start to go, you know what, Dad? Yeah, you're not too bad. But I go, and he's got 2 boys, so I'm like, yeah, you got a long, you got many more years to be the dumb one. But that's the joy. But I agree so much. I write the goals down because I'm a competitive person.
Okay.
And that gives me something to compete.
Yeah.
Right. On a personal level. And, as I've been thinking, I start thinking in November about, the next year and what my goals are and what I want to accomplish and what I want to do. And it is leaning more towards that experience and that forward movement rather than, I want a camper, I want to have an RV. So
Yeah.
RVing, those type of goals, which they've been on my goals in the past.
Yeah.
But I take a look at things and I've got friends who are my age who are getting new knees and new hips, and I'm like, damn, I go in and I'm healthy.
Yeah.
The only flaw I have is I'm gorgeous.
That's
it. Perfect hair.
It's funny. When I was a kid, I used to sit there and say my prayers with my grandma at night, right? And if I asked for something like an RV or a skateboard or bike or whatever, she used to tell me, she'd be like, God doesn't give you stuff. God doesn't listen to your prayers about stuff. She goes, if you want to ask God for something, like ask for wisdom, ask for health, ask for love, ask for patience, ask for self-improvement. Yeah. She used to tell me that all the time. And I don't think that's, I mean, I'm sure you could draw that from the Bible somewhere, but I think she just made it up.
Yeah.
I think she was just like, don't do that. But it stuck with me my whole life. So like, even when I'm asking the universe for things, I never ask the universe for an RV or a jet ski or what. I ask for the ability to work for it myself, the opportunity to work hard, and then anything else is ancillary. You know what I mean? So if I can get those things, if I can buy myself those things as a result of being successful, that's great.
Yeah,
but not my goal.
Yeah. So a lot of times, every game day, as everybody's warming up, I sit on the bench and I have a conversation with God. And I always just ask God, I'm like, look, give me the ability to lead this team the way that I should. Allow everybody on the basketball court to have fun. And please, let's make sure there's no injuries.
Yeah, everybody stay safe.
And I don't care if I win or lose, but I'm just like, give me the ability to lead. The way that you see fit, right?
My grandma would have loved it.
And so I do that every game. And sometimes, at the end, God's up there going, I did, you didn't listen, dumbass. But there's that. That's kind of, I think that's what Shane is, moving is for that forward progress. And that's a growth in itself, right? Because, when I was younger, it would be like, let us crush this team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it's I want everybody on that basketball court to have a good experience and fun, and I want to have fun doing it. And it's been a blast so far. Do you find a lot of quote unquote your wants are for the loved ones in your life? I am the happiest when my people are smiling.
So not only is that very true for me, but it actually also ties in with making my goals list, right?
Yeah.
So the same is true for Sam. So when I write down a goals list, it does more than just focus me. It lets Sam know. And then because she wants for me to be happy, because we're all in that same vein, we want each other to succeed. Then making that goal helps her to help me focus on that goal. So it makes it even easier then, because now we got 2 people tackling it instead of one. And it's because she does. She wants to see me succeed, but also at something that I'm happy doing.
Right.
Same thing I want for her.
yeah, really, really, my main motivation, my wants, um, are for the people in my life.
No.
Because if the people in my life are happy, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right. If the people in my life are loved, then I'm loved. And you know, then when you get a call from one of your closest friends or that you can consider family and a brother, it's like, hey, here, all of a sudden, all my energy, all my focus, everything in my world stops and pushes at them. Right. I'm not sending good vibes or anything like that. But I start having a lot of conversations in my head while that person is, going through tests or whatever, going, all right, do I need to be there? Should I get there? How do I hold up this person?
Yeah.
And go, holy shit, because everybody who knows is you know, uh, two of my old partners have passed, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, if somebody says anything, my world stops because I don't want that to happen to anybody that I know, or that I'm dealing with. One of my players, her dad has heart issues, but then he was in the emergency room. He was in the hospital because of pneumonia and something else, and that's when you're 19,
Yeah.
that's heavy on you.
It is.
So I start my focus, my intentions go there, and what can I do to help uphold her and her family? Short from stopping my world.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's the difference between the play coach and the head
Yeah.
coach. You're involved in their lives,
Yeah.
their mental state.
Yeah.
You care about their schooling. You know what I mean? It's not just get out.
I think I do more than they do.
But it's not just like, hey, you don't know how to shoot a jump shot. Let's work on that.
Right.
It's like, hey, your dad's in the hospital. You need to talk to somebody. Like that's and they need that. I guarantee you that meant the world to her.
Yeah. So today I'm bringing in a gentleman, a mentor who is all about positive mental attitude and being a good teammate.
Oh, okay.
Is a great individual, but it's to help them understand, through the rest of their life that you're going to be part of a team.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be an entrepreneur. You're going to be part of a team.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it's 100%. And people are like, why are you doing this? I go, because they're not going to remember practice the Friday after Christmas.
Or even a speech you made at practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, listen, there are a lot of times where Kelsey is now working with us too.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. So
awesome.
I brought her in as a coach as well. She's now working with us too. And I'll be like, the other day we were playing a team and we're beating them pretty good. I'm like, listen, I had a coach, my sophomore coach, Kevin Oliger, said, listen, when you got a dead dog in the grave, don't let it out of the grave. Step on its neck. And they're like, oh, why are you going to do that to a dog? And I'm like, no, it's just, and Kelsey's like, here's what he's saying. And they're like, oh, well, why couldn't you just say that, coach? I never heard that before. It's so funny. But yeah, and that's what I'm blessed. It's so weird, right? The universe throws people at you. There's no reason why.
Yeah.
Drew and Kelsey created a relationship, and she becomes part of this show and a big part of the show. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "I love basketball." I'm like, "Come and work out with my ladies. Come and show them." And now, the women just attached to her and Jess, and it's just, it's phenomenal. But yeah, they're like they're not old man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Drew says it takes more than a wannabe stroke to take me down. Demons are afraid of Italians. This partner will be here for a while. Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter though, buddy.
Let's do a knock on wood real quick because I don't like the way he said that with such confidence.
That's right.
Drink some orange juice, bud.
I feel like
that's
community without tribe ID is my Pollyanna wish going into 2025. I'll do my part. Have a great weekend, guys. Yeah, enjoy. Have a blessed New Year's Eve. And really, we're 4 minutes over. We got to get rocking. But I pray that everybody that's out there listening has an incredible 2025. That all your dreams, all your wishes, all your goals come true, and you just are able to live the life that you've always wanted.
Yeah. Hope 2025, hopefully it's your year.
Yeah. And listen, as Scott always says, hey, everybody out there, make a difference. And